Hi, and welcome to week 4 at GM 623 at St. Mary's University. This is Amy Erickson, and I wanted to go over a few things from week 3 to review, and then give a little bit of a preview for the week 4 assignment. So, as you know, the week 3 assignment included a summary and critique of an article. I thought you did a very nice job on the assignment, so thank you so much for that. I also wanted to let you know some of you, I think, may have the sense that critiquing means criticizing, and that in a negative sense. And that's really not the case. When you critique an article, you're looking to see whether or not you think that the data is valid in terms of your research question and your thesis statement. So, for example, if you were looking for information about how a drug affected the population, you wouldn't necessarily want to. You wouldn't necessarily want research that only conducted a study on men. So in that regard, you would critique that article by saying, well, this is somewhat limited in that it's only being tested on men, and my research question is about how it affects an entire population. So you can see how that would be limited. However, it may spur you to continue researching for uh, studies that have been done that are more inclusive in terms of population. So don't think it's something negative. It's just something to, it's think of it as evaluating. Okay. Also, make sure your resources are credible and that the data is valid. Again, a really nice job here. A lot of you look to see what sort of backgrounds the individuals conducting the research had, what sort of affiliations they had, and looked at the data in terms of validity and reliability. So, like I said, a really nice job there. Um, Finally, please be sure to read all the instructions because many students left out the list of preliminary resources that was required as part of the assignment. So I've got the um, assignment instructions there, and you'll note that that was the first thing that was asked. So I'm going to scroll down here for the week 4 preview. So annotated bibliography. So Excelsior College gives some helpful tips for how to create an annotated bibliography. You're going to summarize the source, reproducing the author's main ideas in your own words, and then analyze the source. And you can ask yourself questions like, is there enough relevant information here to address my narrow focus? Does the author delve deeply enough into the subject? Or is it more of an overview? Or what type of evidence does the author use? And is the use of statistical information accurate in your experience? And then evaluate the source's usefulness in terms of the narrow focus of your research. Okay, so I wanted to show you an example here because I think one thing that trips people up is the formatting for an annotated bibliography. So I'm going to scroll down here, and so this is what the format's going to look like. You'll list the reference first and then line up your annotation with a hanging indent. As you know how to create a hanging indent now. If you do not, let me know right away and I can email you and show you how to do that. So your annotated bibliography, let's say this is your resource here. You list your resource and then you summarize it. And I've written here, we would start our summary of the article here and keep the margins for the entire length of the annotation. The entire annotation will be double spaced, and clearly this would be a lot longer than a few sentences, but you get my point. So I keep evaluating the data, the research, the methods, and those that conducted the study in this portion of the annotation. When I get done with this, I move on to the second part of the annotation, and I start a second paragraph here, and I discuss how it is relevant or useful to my paper. Again, keeping that format throughout, keeping that indent throughout the entire annotated bibliography. And then our next, let's say our next resource that we're using is Gabor Mate's book here, and then we would start the next entry like so. So if you have any questions about the annotated bibliography or formatting it, or any questions about your material this week, please feel free to reach out to me. I check my email daily, and I'm happy to help in any way possible. So here are the references for this, and then I also included a picture of my dog to make you smile. So have a great week, and thank you for all you do.